Hey everyone, welcome to the Rooster Teeth podcast. This week brought to you by I'm Gus.
Where are the graphics? I'm Blaine.
I'm Barbara.
I'm Todd.
And I'm Gus. Man, I looked it up at the last second. The intro started playing. I was like, oh shit, I don't have it in front of me.
Brought to you by...
I had a little bit of a pause while I did it. Little peek behind the curtain.
You mean we don't have it all together all the time?
Sometimes we don't. Especially when we're pre-taping. We're pre-taping today. We should say that right off the bat.
Which is why we won't talk about the numbers for Extra Life, because we don't know what they are or what they were.
After working for 24 hours nonstop, the broadcast crew needed a time off. Needed a little break.
It's weird talking in the past tense when it's in the future. Edit this in. We raised over dollars.
Yeah, that's a lot or a little.
But regardless of how much you raise, thank you, community, for donating and being part of it, as you are every year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man,
regardless of how much you did.
Actually, that's pretty badass. Like, that's like the one...
What was your favorite part?
Death to Spooky. Yeah. We're ending it this year. This is the last two Spooky. Miles is just like, I can't do it anymore.
Miles is gonna break if he keeps doing it, I think.
We can't. It's hard to keep topping yourself each year. But we've got like, well, let's not talk about it, just because I don't even know what's gonna happen. But we did a bunch of good things this year. I don't know. Yeah, we have a bunch of plans.
I'm gonna say someone got way too drunk.
Probably.
Someone probably hurt themselves.
Cheese Master showed up.
Nope.
Cheese Master made a return?
No.
Damn it.
He did not.
I'm going pretty hard on the Voldemort thing again this year. Got some good response last year, so I hope that didn't suck. Was it cool?
Put in the comments whether or not you thought it was cool or not.
Did it suck?
A scale from 1 to 10.
1 to 10 dabs. How many dabs did you give it?
Wait, is more dabs good or is more dabs bad?
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah,
More
is a
dabs
very
is always good.
arbitrary scale.
Gustavo.
Are they angry dabs or are they ironic dabs?
I don't think it goes from good to bad. It's more of like I got an x-axis too because there's like a cringe factor. You know what I mean?
Is it a boomer dabbing? I mean, let's.
Yeah.
How
It's
deep is
someone.
this? Let's qualify these dabs.
So by the time that this episode comes out, it'll be the 11th. And then tomorrow means Mandalorian will be out.
The 12th.
Is it the 11th of November? Isn't that a day? Isn't that like Kit Kat Day or something
Veterans
in Japan?
Day?
Veterans Day. Remembrance Day.
11/11.
Yeah, you know, Kit Kat Day, Veterans Day. You know.
Mandalorian's that mandolin that turns into a DeLorean or something?
He time travels.
It's
don't know.
it's the Star Wars show.
Oh, wow. They've been doing some great work lately. Mamma mia.
They're on hold, right? Bob Iger said that Star Wars is going to go on hold, on hiatus for a bit.
I mean, the two Game of Thrones guys dropped out.
Yeah.
They said that they had a toss-up between doing a Star Wars trilogy and a project with Netflix. Wonder which one of those I would have chosen.
Well, you don't know what the project is.
On Netflix? I mean, I feel like there's a sense of scale that it can only go so big if it's with Netflix. You know?
Yeah. I mean,
They got the Martin Scorsese thing. They got The Irishman coming out.
I'm not gonna watch that though.
You're not going to watch that?
No, I don't really.
Do you not like Scorsese films?
No, I like Scorsese.
You're not going to watch a free movie on Netflix by Scorsese?
It's not free because I'm paying for the subscription service.
Okay, that's not. You're not a fucking CPA, dude. We're not going to break down the fucking cost per minute of you watching a movie or not.
I bet it actually cost me like a dime.
So you're not going to spend a dime to watch a Scorsese film.
You were
Probably
just talking about Heat a minute ago. The only other time that was good where Pacino and De Niro were on screen together.
Can I play that clip, or are we gonna get flagged?
No. What? You want to play a clip from a Brian De Palma movie on the podcast?
Do you think he'd notice?
That's your idea?
All right. Well, Eric is a fraud.
this is a new segment we're calling Blaine Makes Terrible Suggestions.
With his own graphics package.
Its own graphics package.
Good thing he knew the director, though.
Eric does this thing where he says, "Baby." I think they have it on the soundboard. Pull it up, baby.
Does he love it?
There it is. Hey, wow, they pulled it up.
Oh, they did the thing that they do.
Say the line, Bart.
Anyways, that's from a movie. That's from Heat.
1995.
Do you want to recreate the read?
He says, "I told you when we first started dating, baby, that you're gonna have to share me with all the bad people and all." Yeah. I can't remember the line.
Oh, is he in the room?
Oh, God.
When are we getting
It's a salty podcast.
Somebody's brain me with this fucking bottle opener already.
We're here for love and support, not only.
Look, we got off topic. I'm sorry.
Wrong show.
The Netflix, the Netflix thing. I think those guys, those Game of Thrones guys, are just gonna do a behind the scenes for the Star Wars movie. That was the other project. You can do the Star Wars movie
Or the BTS.
the BTS because they love that part of Game of Thrones.
No, you talked about the whole documentary?
GB was going for when Khaleesi was I don't want people nerd out about the thing they made.
That
I do.
In a way, that's kind of what people are watching right now.
We don't make anything.
We make a couple things.
No, I'm just kidding. We're not nerding out about that. We're just we're talking about other stuff.
They did a thing though on that where they got called out hardcore, where they're like, "Yeah, I guess Khaleesi forgot the Navy was there," or some shit like that, where they like let something slip, and you're like, "Oh God, like that's not good." You know, they gave some like I don't know.
Like a foreshadowing of something that hadn't happened yet?
No, it was like it was pointing out their terrible writing. They're like, yeah, this main character forgot about this military force, and then everyone was like, what the like rewind, enhance, what was that?
Oh my God. I don't know if I feel like Game of Thrones will never live down the whole coffee cup being left there. Like that's gonna be forever.
I think Amelia Clark was on a late night talk show last week, and she said publicly whose coffee cup it was.
Oh, whose was it?
It was Varys's.
Oh.
I guess like after it came out, and it was a whole big deal. It was like the actor who played Varys came up to her, was like, that was my coffee cup. I left it there.
Picturing Varys in Starbucks, like it's VARY.
Silent K.
Oh, no, or the opposite. He says Varys, and they nail it. They spell it right. Like that's the one name at Starbucks they get. Like,
Varys.
oh yeah, Varys, of course.
Yeah, for me it's like Deborah, Brenda.
Do you guys use your real names do you ever just give them like Hercules or?
I gave him a fake one once.
What was it?
It was like Bert or something. I don't know why I did it.
Secret joke.
Bert with a U or with an E? Like Burt Reynolds or Bert Muppet Bert?
Let's think. Which one would I choose?
E.
Muppet.
No, Burt Reynolds. You.
They probably misspelled it.
I was ordering the app, so it's like
Same.
it's easy. Yeah, and it just prints out.
I don't know why anybody doesn't do that. Because that way you arrive there, you just walk in, you pick up your shit, and you get the fuck
Also,
out.
you can make it as fucking complicated as you want.
Yep, because it's all in the instructions there for them.
Right.
Very true.
I see people waiting on. I'm like, you literally just pick up your phone and do it right now.
Chris Damaris who introduced that to me.
Really?
Yeah, he was like, you can just do it on the app. You just show up, walk in, pick it up, and leave. I was like,
But sometimes you need a break from work, right? And standing in the line is not the worst way to not work.
well, standing in line at Starbucks might be a little
No,
worse.
either way,
you're
a good point.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
I like to stretch my legs and not be somewhere sometimes. Just be like, oh, cool, a long line? Great.
You know, you could also like get your stuff right away and then sit down in the Starbucks.
I don't have sitting down time. I got standing in line time. Like, I can't do anything about the line. But sitting down's like, you choose to sit.
It's all about the perception, the external
Yeah.
perception of what you're actually doing.
I went to
Yeah.
there's a place called Flight Path that's over off of airport. Oh, that's why they call it Flight Path.
The airport,
Congratulations, Blaine, you figured it out.
this used to be the airport.
The
though,
airport
right?
used to be right
This used to
here.
be
You
the
know, Mueller Airport?
Anyways,
It's on Duval also. The street's called Duval. So.
Yeah.
so
This is a segment we like to call Blaine fucks up real bad.
Blaine learns about Austin. It's got its own graphics
That's
package.
an old one. That's an old one.
Menchaca.
Old coffee
Flight
shop.
Path, there was a guy, I witnessed two baristas talking it over, and it was like a kind of a peek behind the scenes that I thought was interesting, but they were like, some asshole just called in and asked us to make his order in advance. And they were like, oh, fuck that guy. They're like, yeah, no way. It's like, that's going to set a terrible precedent. Then everybody's going to be doing it. This guy's going to skip in front of the line, and then everybody's going to think that they're entitled to it. And they were like breaking down, like, and then we're going to turn to Starbucks. And then they like went down this whole path, like right in front of me. And I was like, I'd like a latte.
Did they see you standing there listening to their whole conversation?
I don't think they care. They were just making their drinks. That's,
That's the traditional business model of a coffee shop and trying to go out of business. Like, that is the traditional model, right?
I feel like it is your job as a barista to just hate everybody that's in your shop.
Yeah.
Because they're just a bunch of freeloaders using your Wi-Fi, you know? Like,
Interesting.
one of the places that one of my regulars, that I'm not going to mention the name because I'm probably going to find out that it has some correlation with words. Okay, it's called Revival Coffee.
Oh, you know why it's called that?
Why?
I want to wait for you to figure this one out.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
actually pretty good.
I asked about this. Is it because it's across the street from a cemetery?
Exactly.
No, I asked about
Fucking
that.
with him. I have no fucking idea.
Oh shit. Okay, yeah.
But you asked about it, and what'd they say?
Well, so like I was ordering my coffee one day, or I was in line to order my coffee, and I looked out the window and the cemetery's across the street. It's nice. I like stare at the cemetery all the time because it's like cemeteries are.
You're looking for hands?
Yeah, I was looking for the zombie hands. No,
Who wants a coffee?
cemeteries are
Anybody?
peaceful and nice to watch, and they have like pretty trees and shit. But anyways, I was like, "Hey, do you guys call you guys yourselves Revival Coffee because you're like across the street from a cemetery?" And they were like offended. They were like, "No." I was like, "Oh, okay." And they're like, "We're a chain. We started in Seattle." And I was like, "Okay."
It's probably just caffeine, reviving,
Yeah.
revival. I assume it has some correlation in terms of that.
Yeah, probably.
I went to
It's a good guess.
I went to Bennu Coffee over on MLK.
What do they call Benu?
And then I went there the morning of October 31st, and I forgot it was Halloween morning until I walked in, and all the baristas had on like Starbucks aprons, and on their menu they had put like a piece of tape and written over it Starbucks, and they were wearing the headsets.
Oh, that's funny. They all dress up as Starbucks employees.
Yeah, and then it's like like
Genius.
someone in front of me that had gotten their drink wrong, they forgot to add something into it, and the barista was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, it's these damn headsets. You know, bad communication. We can't hear each other."
That's
Like
cool.
they were really into it.
I always love costumes like that, where it's like picking fun at someone. My trainer, I have a new trainer at the gym I go to now. Her name's Kelly. And someone else who works at the gym dressed up as her for Halloween last year. So they put like the blonde wig on, her headband, her like sweatpants that she wears all the time. And I just love shit like that. I love dressing up as other people just to make fun of them. So
It's kind of related to what we did on the podcast a couple of weeks ago, where we dressed each other.
or like when we did that on the spot where we all dressed as John
That was a good one.
for the episode in Hell. Because that's my version of Hell. It's 4 John Reisingers.
John Reisinger. 5 John
There were
Reisinger.
5,
John
yeah.
Reisinger. Yeah. Just kidding. Love you, John.
We had a meeting this morning that kind of derailed at the end, and we started talking about what everyone's own personal hell would be.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Trying to imagine that for everyone.
What would yours be?
sorry, what was
Just public interaction.
What was
general.
supposed to be going on in the meeting?
Well, it was a good short. I don't want to give it away in case
Okay,
we do
okay.
make it, but it was a pretty funny short. We're riffing off of it. Yeah, I don't know what would I think I mine would be like unhealthiness, just being going back to being unhealthy again.
I think mine would
Yeah, I was
be
unhealthy in high school.
Was?
I had my version of my own personal hell a couple weeks ago. We went to fucking the haunted houses that they have here in Austin.
House Torment.
House Torment.
Yeah.
And we got there, and there must have been about 600 teenagers there,
Yikes.
like all between the ages of 13 and 17.
Were they dabbing and flossing nonstop?
I felt like I was in a real life TikTok. Like, I was just like, I assure you, every single person in this fucking room uses TikTok and is probably on TikTok right now or making a TikTok as we speak. And I'm like, this is my version of hell. Because they're all just like loud and unaware of their surroundings and other people around them and just like making the same jokes to each other. I hated it. I hated every second of it. It was scarier than the fucking haunted houses that we went into.
Only gets worse.
Why?
As you get older, you just hate the kids more and
Oh,
more.
because like there's more just younger people.
Fuck. I would have if I met the middle school version of myself, I would cease to exist because I would have punched him to death. I was so fucking annoying in middle school.
That's pretty hardcore bullying, though. I don't think you can just, even if it's the past version of yourself, I don't think you can just pummel a kid to death as a grown man.
It's me, it's fine. He was also that annoying.
I would cease to exist and go to prison in current life.
I was like popping jokes in movie theaters. Like I was that fucking kid.
I could see that.
Asking coffee shops what the origin of their name was.
Yep, that's me.
Trying to figure it all out.
My personal hell, I had a baby a few months ago. Well, my wife did the pushing, but I've noticed something that's important to me that would be my personal hell now.
You did the pushing 9 months before that.
Everything.
I was gonna say that.
Nice.
Everything is slightly out of reach. Like, you know, the baby, you're like feeding it or changing it, whatever. I realized how important that my hell would be. Everything is slightly out of reach because it kind of is now. I'm like the remote, the glass of water, the whatever. I'm always just like stuck,
Anchored.
anchored, which is with a baby who's cool. It's a cool baby. Like,
You need to get
Legit.
one of those like little plastic claw arms and keep it like on your leg. You're like, oh, just a little too far.
Or the
That is a
Detective
hella
Rascal
dad
one.
move. That is like a holster for a claw hand.
Dude, your Detective Rascal character, Blaine, in Arizona Circle is the fucking funniest character I think you've ever done.
Thanks, dude.
When you said, McGriddle me this,
McGriddle me there.
I literally had to stop the video because I was laughing so hard and I had like spit coming out of my mouth.
That was a fun. I mean, you were there and Josh was there.
fun.
That was like,
And you were there?
Genuinely, and you were there. That was genuinely one of the best nights of my life.
was fun.
Like that was. We all went into that night knowing it was going to be like tough and we're all going to be tired and stuff like that. And then I just kind of came into set with like the attitude that like I should just keep the energy up. Let's keep lively. Just like cracking jokes, didn't break character. It was so fun.
Yeah, I bet.
Like I didn't like I went home that day and like slept and I was excited. I couldn't even sleep because I was just like
Still in your fat costume.
yeah. Oh, hell.
The gross line that you had makes me laugh pretty hard. You like order a series of tests on some gum or something.
Or
I need a full order test. Blood, cum, spit. Like it's just like the grossest list of.
these blood, hair, something and cum.
If we haven't
so
already
gross.
not convinced you to watch Arizona Circle,
Sounds wholesome.
it's available on the Rooster Teeth website.
yeah.
With Thanksgiving coming up, you got your family in town. You want to show them something.
Perfect
you can
family
all sit down and
show.
watch together.
Yeah, bring your
You
grandparents.
can circle around Arizona Circle.
There it is. That's their catchphrase.
That is the catchphrase. I wrote
Do
it.
not make that the title.
We have more Rascal appearances coming in later episodes in the season.
Spoiler.
But
The Little Rascal?
bro, I want to make a Rascal movie. That'd be funny.
Maybe that's what the Game of Thrones guys dropped
It's a
Star
Rascal
Wars for.
movie?
Yeah, they can do that.
How long was that makeup? That was quite a while, right?
Anna, you around still? She's not. I would say that was like about a 2-hour and change process, and then to get out of it was like another hour.
Just saying for the movie.
Ah,
Those were like prosthetics and stuff, right?
yeah, it was like a whole chin thing that like stuck to this. I had to shave myself completely, and then she put like sideburns over to cover up the prosthetic, like the seal.
Can we get a
And then
side by
crazy
side?
wig.
Christian Bale just would have done a full body transformation. I'm just throwing that
Right,
out
he
there.
would have
Who
actually
would've just done
gotten,
the Dick Cheney?
yeah, he would have actually started eating a lot more.
Yeah.
Get himself in that shape.
Actually, I had gotten I didn't get the thing that Meryl had where she ate shit.
Dysentery.
Dysentery. I didn't have dysentery, but I had something similar where I was just like constantly shitting and vomiting. So I dropped like a bunch of weight right
Probably
before
just-
Arizona Circle.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So like there was a scene where it was me and James doing a boxing thing, and I looked fucking cut for that, but it was like the unhealthiest cut.
You're just like,
Yeah. So it's funny because I was like at my lowest weight while wearing this giant suit.
I was thinking about it the other day too because we had to do full face prosthetics for that dark crystal thing me and Lindsay did.
That unrecognizable.
It was. I didn't think about it at first because I was trying not to give myself a panic attack, but I'm like, the claustrophobia of having literally your entire face covered in prosthetics
Yeah.
is something you really don't anticipate until you're in it, and you're just like, oh my god, like I literally have like this amount of hole for breathing, and everything else is like covered and like things stuck to my face.
Yeah, I don't get claustrophobic, but when they did the face mold for me for the Cyclops, I was like,
Yeah.
I can't. Like you have,
Yeah.
you can't see. It's almost like being entombed.
Yes,
You have no sense of the outside world.
like you can't breathe, you can't, like properly, and it's just like a thing of I could technically take this off, but I can't at the same time. It was just a weird feeling.
There's something to that. It's like a social pressure to keep it on.
Yeah.
Your brain knows it could and it wants to.
It would hurt like a bitch.
Yeah, but it's like you can't. You did a bunch of shit with Key of Awesome, so you were probably in prosthetics. Did you ever
Yeah.
have that kind of claustrophobia?
Yeah, I hate it. But it's like if you're in the business of making videos and you do that to yourself to volunteer to get in the thing, like you just end up doing it.
The night before we did Rascal, I know the day of, Anna told me that the worst part was going to be the neck. So I worked out with a fucking turtleneck just to like get used
Get
to
used
it.
to something being there.
Yeah.
Wait,
You,
so
you worked out with a
were you at a
turtleneck?
public gym in a turtleneck?
No, it was in my apartment. gym.
Okay.
But I just had this like a long like neck thing up, and I was just like, all
So
right,
you're just
gotta
wearing
get
like a
used to
neck
this.
brace or something like that.
Yeah.
Be like, some people are into this. Maybe you'll be too. You'll discover something about yourself.
Yeah, who knows?
I was hoping you were going to say that you were working out your neck right before, like putting like a spring-loaded thing right here and just working it out.
Are
I
there
don't know
neck
what that
workouts?
Yes. I used to do them,
what's
but
a neck
I
workout?
stopped. The common one is like you lay like flat with your.
Can you show us?
Oh my god, that table is wobbly.
Oh.
Somebody mic him.
So you do it like this, and then you put a plate on your head, normally with a towel, and then you just kind of like, I'm not far enough back, and then you just kind of like, you like lift it, and then you can like apply a small amount of pressure on the weight so that you can support it.
Oh, interesting.
And you can do that on the sides as well. I'm not doing the.
Do you do that exercise ever?
I was, and then I stopped because I looked like a dumb shit, and I also realized
I think it looks cool. Can we see an instant replay?
Yeah. Who
Wait,
watched
you do that
again?
with a plate? Did you say a plate?
Yeah.
Like a plate of donuts? or
Barbell plate, yeah.
Like a
wait.
circle plate with a little hole in it that you put on like barbells and stuff like that.
I'd like to picture it with like a dinner plate. I think that'd be more of a fun.
and you're trying to
exercise.
balance a full steak dinner.
An
And when
apple.
you're done, you get a snack.
Yeah.
They also have machines for that too that make
Yeah.
you look less stupid.
There's a machine dedicated just to working out your neck.
Yep, we used to have one at my high school. It was just you just stick it on your head on the pad, and you just go.
It's the dick sucking practice.
That's the future of AI. If that machine could have intelligence.
Yeah, that would be great.
I didn't
It would
make a
get-
joke. I just wanted you guys to make a
it
joke.
Would get, it would get really depressed. Like, what's its purpose in life? Just to make necks more muscular.
Yeah. Imagine the world.
Who needs to get their neck more muscular?
You-
Is that a real thing?
You'd be
Popper?
surprised if you don't work your traps and your neck. Then like
But you can get that
no
through
amount
doing-
of mass down here will make you look.
I guess that's true. I guess for me personally, I'm trying to not use my traps as much in my exercise because I have such like giant muscular traps. Wink. But I've like been training to learn other parts of my back so that this doesn't overcompensate for everything else because you end up using this too much.
I've seen a
Are
lot
these
of comments
cameras
about
close?
Gus's neck.
My neck's ripped. Why? Was something wrong with
The camera looks closer than usual.
We had to move it for Blaine's head movements.
I mean,
You're welcome.
the singles. I don't know.
I mean,
Maybe
I
I'm just
am.
going crazy.
Men's Health did do a article on me. It was,
Congratulations.
It was web only. I dressed as Looking Glass for Halloween. No one knew who the fuck I was, and I posted a picture of it. And Men's Health was like, "That's a cool costume," and I was like,
What's Looking Glass?
"Looking Glass is from Watchmen, the greatest show on earth."
I went to a Halloween party a few years ago, and someone was dressed up as a character from The Leftovers, and nobody had seen The Leftovers. Everyone just kept asking, "Who are you? What are you?" He's like, he was getting so frustrated. He's like, "Man, does nobody watch The Leftovers?"
Not enough.
Nope, nobody did.
Yeah.
That's just not a great name for your show. I just got to say, you know.
The Leftovers.
Yeah. It didn't get chosen the first time, but maybe you want to watch it.
The leftovers.
People generally don't like leftovers, right? Like you put them in your fridge, you throw it away a few days later.
I love
People
leftovers.
have a special affinity for Thanksgiving leftovers, but other leftovers.
Nah,
Garbage.
cold pizza? You kidding me? Woo.
I like leftover
pizza?
pasta. Cold pasta?
Cold pasta's pretty good. Yeah.
All about it, yeah. We filmed a video the other day that'll hopefully come out as an RT Life or something of that sort, where we did different snacks that we make at home. And the one Blaine did, I think, was my favorite. But someone's just like, it's so cold. It's like cold pizza.
That's the point.
Yeah.
Cold pizza.
He mixed basically 3 ingredients together that you would eat like on a spoon. And then all together that tasted like pizza. It's good.
I love pizza.
Don't want to spoil it.
I think everyone loves pizza.
Gus can't eat pizza right now.
I had vegan pizza the other day.
Oh, is
Are you
it
still vegan?
Yeah, still doing.
from fucking what's it called?
Mod? I tried the mod. I tried to make a vegan mod pizza.
Uh-huh.
It was not good.
Not good.
No, that was.
Are you still going to be vegan by the time this comes out?
I don't know. I could stop at any moment.
Because it
A hamburger could walk by, and I might eat it. You know, it might happen.
I mean, if it's a walking hamburger, you gotta.
Definitely eat
Has
that.
special powers.
How long's it been? Like a month?
No. It's been like 2.5 weeks.
How better than Toots?
Getting there.
This vegan Toots.
It was different, right? Like when I would fart, it didn't smell like my farts.
Mm-hmm.
I've gotten used to it now, though.
And then you look at yourself in the mirror. You go, who am I?
Yeah.
So speaking of farts,
Oh.
This is the story.
I was like, should I tell this on the podcast? People already know so much about me. I don't give a fuck. I got a hemorrhoid last weekend.
Oh, welcome to the club. Congratulations.
It's a big moment in a young woman's life.
Listen,
Congratulations.
Have you guys had hemorrhoids before?
Oh.
Explain to me what a
Twice.
hemorrhoid
No way,
is.
that's
Hemorrhoid
gross.
is basically on your anus
Okay.
when you either strain too much or something happens where a lot of blood is being pushed in that area.
Okay.
It basically some of the lining fills with blood and it creates like a little sac on your anus.
Okay.
Am I explaining that
Yeah,
right?
and so like imagine if you are wiping and you feel like a bump.
Okay.
It's just like a bloody, inflamed
Sac.
bump inside of your butthole.
I might get those then.
You might. I mean, if you do a lot of weightlifting,
Does it hurt sometimes when you sit down? Like on your butthole?
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you get hemorrhoids.
Okay.
do you ever look? Do you ever look? I mean, that's an easy way to tell.
Not a while, because like I started getting really sad looking at my own butthole because I realized like the act of doing it, how ridiculous it was, but then also how ugly it was.
You got it.
Why were you looking at your butthole?
You got to look at your butthole.
Because what you explained, I was like, oh, this doesn't feel right, and I look at it, and it's just like the hairy eye of Sauron.
I feel. What planet have you been on? Like, what do you explain? This hemorrhoid? I feel like I have had this experience.
Well, the reason I haven't
What
looked it up is
is
because
it?
if
thought
I
it
ever
was
get
butt cancer?
those, I always
think
thought it
it's-
was anal fissures. But
Oh.
I don't want to cut off your story.
No, I mean there's nothing much to it, but I think how I got it was I'm with a new trainer now, and she was having me do a lot of exercises I've never done before, which were very like strenuous.
Uh-huh.
And I think maybe I strained too hard at one point and just went, and it just went, hello, I'm here. Because like the whole rest of the day I was just like uncomfortable
Yeah,
sitting. I
like
was
when
like,
you, it's like,
Yeah.
or
feels
when
like
you
I need
walk,
to take
it
a
feels weird.
shit. What is this?
Oh, maybe I haven't had those then.
Here,
you can,
this isn't an actual picture. This is an illustration,
illustration.
showing what happens to your butthole. Does that?
Okay, no, I don't think I've had those then.
Okay.
See that?
So like I had these things called anal fissures when I was a kid because I'd just wipe my ass because I was I guess I'm
Bloody.
slightly OCD, so I would like wipe until it's clean, and it would cause bleeding and shit, bleeding and shit.
And shit.
And have I told the story where I had to go to the doctor?
It doesn't sound familiar.
I think you might have, but continue.
Well, long story short, I went to the doctor's office, and then this guy said, "Pull on your pants," and they said, "Don't be nervous. I see this. I see little boys do this a lot, or something like that." And I was like, "Oh God."
You definitely. Did
So then
tell
I
the story.
and then I got on the table, and they had to. Gus, you're the doctor, and then he stuck a flaming hot rod in my ass, and then he seared it shut, and it smelled like bacon in the room.
Bacon.
Did you go eat afterwards?
Nah, I lost my appetite.
Do you still eat bacon to this day and are reminded of your own asshole?
Burning.
No, I don't eat a lot of bacon.
Okay.
I can just picture like a little tiny fisherman when you say anal fissure. That's all I can see is like.
Yeah, that's when you get a lot of blood in there.
Turn over. We gotta fish this beehole. Come on now.
Fish this meal.
So, did it go away, Barbara?
It's in the process. So I looked it up and it's just like, oh, these could like, if you take care of it in a certain way, like take a lot of baths, use this cream, all this stuff, it should go away like 7 to 10 days at least. Like it usually will take a couple weeks to go away, but it's slowly going away. But it's still like the most inconvenient, uncomfortable thing in the fucking world.
You have a lot to look forward to though, because at some point when you're younger, you like constrain and do them, but then when you're older, that shit just happens to you on some random Thursday.
Oh yeah. Well, I also heard that once you get a hemorrhoid, you're more prone to get hemorrhoids in the future, which is great. So once you pop, you can't stop, kids.
Yeah. She copyright that.
Yeah.
So just be prepared. Eat a lot of fiber in your diet. I would recommend. Drink a lot of water. That should help you avoid it because a lot of people get it when they're pooping. They're straining on the toilet.
This is Hemorrhoid Awareness Week. I didn't know that. It's a good lead-in.
Listen,
HAW? Yeah.
I understand.
Second week of November.
Got a lot of young members of our audience who might not have ever experienced this stuff before. Take care of your assholes, kids. Don't be me. Don't be Gus.
I've had it twice, and both times were because of playing video games.
Yeah, your asshole like
Really?
fell out or
I like
something
how-
because you're
Too much
playing
time
Rainbow
on the
Six.
spot.
I would sit on the floor.
I like how yours was playing video games and mine was working out. Nerd.
Synonymous.
Get it.
Were you playing Rainbow Six?
The first time I ever had a hemorrhoid, I was playing the original Rainbow
Weren't you
Six.
like on a concrete floor or something?
Yeah, I was sitting on the concrete floor. I didn't have a computer desk, so my computer was on the floor, and I would play there.
That's some.
Yeah, because
Broke
like your
shit.
your
Yeah.
ass is like stretched out, I guess, and like not on a comfortable surface.
I don't know why that of all the podcast stories that have ever been told, that one sticks out the most vividly to me.
A butt story sticks out to you. Really strange, Blaine.
No, I think it's because it's the elements of, oh, I like Rainbow Six, and Gus's butthole just went,
And I like Gus's butthole.
yeah.
Yeah,
All the elements we love.
The second game was Shadowrun. I think it was Dragonfall. I don't remember which one it was.
The second one was a different
It was
game.
a different video. It was also like 10 years later, maybe longer.
So
15 years later.
playing games on his concrete floor.
Yeah, different place though. Still had a concrete floor. I read the most terrifying headline this morning.
You sent that to me, and I was
It
terrified.
It sounds like if there was a website that generated fake headlines to scare you, this would be one that it would come up with.
Trapped in a haunted house with 600 teenagers, all
Dun, dun.
making TikToks.
1 million cannibal ants trapped in Soviet nuclear weapons bunker have escaped.
How do they know it was 1 million exactly?
They're probably just estimating, dude.
What are
They just counted them.
cannibal ants? Are they what I think they are?
Apparently, there was this colony of ants. Like they were in this nuclear weapons bunker, and there was no way for them to get out. So there was
So
no.
did they build the bunker around the ants? Like, how did that
They were to
happen?
contain them. And there was no food sources in there, so they resorted to eating each other.
Oh,
And they got out?
So then some Polish researchers found them and were studying them, and then built them an escape so they could get out.
Why did they do that? Poland.
I guess they wanted to see if. I think the experiment they were doing was they wanted to see if the ants would stay there if they had the choice, or if they would leave. And of course, they fucking left.
Yeah.
Of course.
Now they're our problem.
No, they're the ants' problem. All the other ants.
It's
Hey,
like no,
guess who's coming?
now they're hardened. It's like the most vicious ants survived.
Do you think they're gonna go eat other ants,
Yeah.
unsuspecting ants that aren't used to that lifestyle?
They're going to take over the rest of the world. They're going to move
you're
up.
probably gonna find
They're
an
gonna start
apple and be like, nah, this is better.
They're going to start eating birds. They're going to start eating cats.
Than humans?
Yeah, they're going to work their way up to humans. Then they're going to start eating dinosaurs. We're fucked.
Did we? You were talking about it today too. Was it the? There's like some. I don't know what they call it, like the pit of hell or something like that.
Oh yeah,
There's like an underground fire that's just never ending.
Oh yeah.
it's in Siberia, or it's like somewhere in Russia, right?
It's like Eastern European, yeah.
It's just a fire that's how long it's been going for.
Years, like years. It was
Really?
just an underground fire. I think it might have been in a coal mine or something like that.
It's a gas crater.
Oh, so I was gonna ask
Right.
what's feeding it, but if it's a gas crater, I assume it's just
Which I don't understand because like don't they?
It's just gas that's on fire. They can't get down there and.
But you
Put
can't,
it
if
out.
it's underground, doesn't that snuff out the oxygen? You know?
I think there's
a
probably still
fissure, so.
Oh, like a fissure. I'm familiar with those.
I guess the collapse into a crater
Hemorrhoid.
happened in the 60s, and then like the gases in the area were set on fire sometime in the 80s. They don't know when. You think that someone would write that down? We lit the crater on fire June 4th, 1985.
It's probably some asshole just smoking a cigarette. And
Do they have like
It's in Turkmenistan.
gift shops and stuff, or like are they capitalizing it on any way?
Darvaza gas crater.
T-shirts. I mean, this is a content.
No,
I'm
no,
hotter
gold
than the
mine.
never-ending fire.
There's
No,
one idea.
Write
it's
it
when you
up.
say that. The Turkmen government hopes the crater will become a popular tourist attraction.
That's what I'm talking about. I want to go.
I would think they would
I
want
hope
to.
7 Wonderings they send somebody over there.
Turkmenistan hopes Door to Hell will boost tourism.
Jesus
Dude,
Christ.
Why would
door
you
to
not?
hell. You and Chris should go over there and do a podcast over there.
Hey, live from Door to Hell, Turkmenistan. I got a
You
text
do
right
a
before.
really good Clayton.
Oh, thank you. I've never met the man. Got a good text from one of our makeup artists. She's on a shoot elsewhere, and she texted and said that someone brought up Podcast from Hell to her, and she's like, "Oh, I know those guys."
Like someone who doesn't know Rooster Teeth or
yeah,
us.
someone out of our.
What is it? Was it like a PA or the director?
He was an actor.
Oh.
So yeah,
Oh.
Even lower on the scale.
Scum of the earth.
it's a good feeling though.
That's awesome. The fact that it's going beyond the Rooster Teeth audience is pretty cool.
Yeah, we have a
Not
bunch
that like
of-
that's not.
You guys cracked the top
Extremely
20
cool,
on iTunes comedy the other day.
Yeah,
Did you know that?
I thought it was 30 something, but fuck yeah,
I just upgraded you. You cracked the top 19.
we did it.
Do you have a favorite episode so far? Because by
Uh,
the time this podcast comes out, I think there'll be 5 out.
So I thought that the one with Jeremy was awesome.
Doug Gug.
Yeah, and then the fucking Gambo one killed. Honestly, like
Gambo.
they're all really strong in their own unique ways.
Yeah.
But we did one with Jeff that I'm really looking forward to. Yeah, they're all just good. I'm super pumped too because we have like an idea for like we had some merch stuff lined up, but we're trying to incorporate it into the world of the show. I think I told you about some of that stuff. Yeah,
I'm really excited for that stuff to all start happening.
yeah, it's weird. It's like writing a story, but it's all really fluid, and you can kind of just like work your way around it. And yeah, no, it's been a good time. I've been enjoying working on it.
They're also very like bingeable episodes, which is nice.
Yeah, cute little 25, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Get a lot of people saying like, "Oh, I was washing my dishes and I listened to an episode."
Yeah, it's like a car ride.
Yeah,
perfect.
Eric, you whispering something? You whispering some shit in there?
No, I'm
Sure.
typing, trying to get other messages done because I have work to do.
How dare you?
Okay,
This is work.
Yeah.
How dare you?
we're promoting the show that you work on, Eric. What do you have to say about that?
Which one?
I was
The one
saying-
that your favorite one.
I was saying on last week's podcast that Gus needs to watch the Gambo episode, since he loves him so much.
Okay, haven't had a chance. We just taped that one last night.
Last night. We're filming this back-to-back days.
Those are the best.
I'm like, what do I have to talk about since
What
last
happened?
night?
What happened to me since yesterday? I got home, ate dinner, and went to bed.
It was fascinating.
It was awesome. So much.
It's funny. I got home and I did another podcast.
Oh my god.
What?
I was
call in?
I was a guest. Yeah, I Skyped in for another podcast called "Is This Adulting?" It's like a mental health comedy podcast. And like it was
Did
the
you wear
only
your
night
adulting hat?
I did not wear my adulting hat. I wore no hat because I was home and I wanted to be comfortable. But it was fun going from this podcast to another podcast, then come in this morning and do
Another one.
podcast.
Is there a podcast called "Is This Adultery," where you just explain what you're doing and be like, "Hey, is this adultery?"
Let's give it a shot. Go for it.
I can't. I just had a baby and everything. Things are going just fine.
I guested on a podcast a couple of weeks ago, a Rick and Morty podcast called "Pickle Me This."
That's a genius.
What was the premise of the show?
McGriddle.
We talked. Every episode deals with a different Rick and Morty episode, and I was on the one for the Rick Lannis mix-up, which made me. I was actually really nervous before I did that podcast. I was like, I don't want to get this wrong because that's a very big episode in terms of like Rick and Morty lore. It like kind of opens up a lot of possibilities. So like I went back and watched a whole bunch of episodes. Like I had notes that I had taken. I was like, I'm going to be
Jesus.
prepared so I don't get on this podcast and just sound like a fucking idiot who's winging it like I do here every week. So I had like pages of notes and I was like I had to memorize a bunch of stuff just because I wanted to like not
Know
be a
your shit.
burden. Right. I wanted to be able to talk intelligently about the topic, about a fucking
Rick and
cartoon.
Morty, yeah.
Right? Like at the end of the day, we're talking about a
Well,
cartoon.
I mean, I assume the people who listen to it are very avid fans of the show, so
Right.
like they're going to be able to see right through you.
It's also, I am part of that fan base. That is a very toxic fan base sometimes.
What isn't these days?
That's very true.
There was something I think about World of Warcraft that happened recently, where something came out about a storyline for a certain character or something, and the reaction of the fan base was just like fucking terrible.
Blizzard has a lot of shit they're dealing with
They
right
do.
now.
They do.
Are you talking about like is this like we talking about the Hong Kong thing?
the way you
No, this
phrase
is
that makes
something
them
else.
sound like the victim.
No. They have a lot of shit going on.
I'm not very happy with this.
No, this is
some of
something
it by
else.
their own causing, their own.
There are machinations.
I think it was World of Warcraft. It could have been a different game or IP, but it was something about like they revealed a character or a storyline for a certain character that they had talked about before, and people weren't happy with what that was, and just
people just fucking blew up.
exploded. And it was like, or if you're like,
Was it last year at BlizzCon they announced like a Diablo mobile game, which everyone fucking hated.
Oh yeah.
This
Yeah.
year they're dealing with the fallout of banning that Hearthstone player for speaking out about Hong Kong's fight for
That's crazy.
democracy. It's like that is shooting themselves in the fucking foot, and then not apologizing for it. Well, I guess they said they handled it at BlizzCon. They said they handled it. They could have handled it better, but then they didn't apologize or cancel the guy's ban from playing the game.
yeah,
Yeah. It was a lot of things where like they released an apology video of sorts without apologizing, and fortunately a lot of people were like, "I'm gonna call you out on that bullshit," which accountability it's important.
Yeah, it sucks because I love Blizzard games, but they've been doing some bad things lately.
Yeah.
yeah. This was something separate that I can't. I'm sorry, I can't remember it. I'm sure people love this story. Change of subject.
All I can think about is blizzards from Dairy Queen.
God,
I'm sorry, I don't game much, so
Todd's having his own
I do go to
podcast.
Dairy Queen when I'm on a road
What's
trip.
your
Here's your
favorite
Blizzard.
Blizzard?
Man, I put all sorts of shit in there, Gus. I just don't care. Butterfinger,
Butterfinger.
Heath Bar, whatever,
Heath
dude.
Bar.
Things that are like antiquated.
You think you know someone, and they come out and bring out their shitty candy choices.
You don't like Butterfinger?
Butterfinger's garbage. Butterfinger's as bad as Milky Way.
Oh no.
It's good in a blizzard, and the best thing is when it's 100 degrees and you order one in Texas, and they like do the dumb thing where they're like, "Here's your blizzard, sir." And I'm like, no fucking need to do that.
yeah.
Why do they do that?
Just to put it in your face that it's frozen. We have frozen machinery in here.
Have they
It
ever?
makes things frozen.
They fucked that up, right? They fucked that up.
They
Not-
used to
not
fuck
once.
up the town I grew up in.
They've never fucked
It
it
would
up
always
once.
fuck up. It would always fall out.
That's impossible.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, it's hot as shit because
It's
you're
hot
close
as
to the
fuck
border.
down there.
I think they just need to like pack it in a little better, no?
Nice.
Well, folks at home, Dairy Queen.
I dare you to prove that
what I
they've
like about
screwed
Texas.
it up one time.
Well, they whenever they hand you their thing, they do this thing where they flip it upside down and then they flip it back and then give it to
Have
you.
I
put it in
bitched
your
about
face.
the Austin area Dairy Queens on this podcast yet?
I haven't
I'm
been
gonna
to
guess
them.
yes.
It's the one off Riverside. That's the only one.
What the fuck are you talking
There's one
about, dude? There's one
Stasny,
like
bro.
walking distance from here.
Oh, there is.
Can we go get Blizzards after this?
What are
I'm
they
kind
called?
of craving one right now.
What do they call Dairy Queen?
It's because it's across from a cemetery.
Oh.
The fucking Dairy Queens in Austin, they're all, I think most of them are owned by some family. And like now they're putting the family name in front of the Dairy Queen. I don't know if you all have seen this like
They
at the drive-thrus.
franchise?
Yeah, it's like
Barker's Dairy Queen.
This is a Mayfield Dairy Queen.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Mm.
Mayfield has got like Mr. Mayfield or whatever. He's like holding a cone and there's like
No.
pictures of him. Like, I don't give a fuck about Mayfield. Listen, Mayfield, I don't care. I'm there for Dairy Queen. I don't give Robert Mayfield or whoever the fuck he is. It doesn't matter. It's like don't brand it as something else, something that it's not. It's a fucking Dairy Queen. You can imagine going to like, this is a Robert Jones McDonald's. What? It is like you're going to a fucking McDonald's. You don't give a fuck
This is
who
a-
owns it.
Yeah.
Dunkelman's Dunkin' Donuts.
That's good though.
Arthur Mayfield actually jumped on a grenade and saved hundreds of people's lives. But that's,
But-
it's fine.
See, look, they even have their own website.
No.
Yeah.
The Mayfields?
Mayfield Dairy Queen.
Dairy Queen's a character in Watchmen, right?
Yeah.
It's the Dairy Queens of
does sound
Austin,
like
Round Rock, Georgetown, Lockhart.
Its
Cameron,
enemy
and
is
Cedar Park.
lactose intolerance.
Yeah.
There's no blizzards are lactose free, right? Because there's no
No.
there's
They're
no
ice cream, aren't
there's
they?
no actual it's soft serve.
Wait, what?
It's all powder and ice.
What's soft serve?
It's not like
As
there's
opposed
no
to ice
actual
cream.
dairy in
That
it.
can't be right.
What? I'm looking this up.
I'm looking at Blizzard.
I'm looking.
Glad I brought up blizzards. This is like twice as twice as
we're
thrilling as
passion.
the other blizzard conversation.
It actually is. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm glad someone else on the show appreciates.
I agree
I
with
love
Gus's
blizzards.
stance on
Blizzards.
Butterfingers. They are shit.
Hey, whoa.
I like Reese's peanut butter cups. Fine.
All right,
You like
yeah.
Reese's?
Yeah, they're awesome.
Yeah, but yeah, there's something about like you bite
Well,
it.
Butterfinger's not peanut butter.
Well, I know it, but it's got
It has a
peanut butter taste.
flavor.
Does it?
And it's like cardboard texture. You're like, it's
Yeah.
like peanut butter that was left out on cement.
Butterfinger, if you're out there, send me a Butterfinger. I'm the only one repping you up here, Essay.
Hey, I like it.
Send me a hashtag Butterfinger.
Snickers is okay though.
Our internet's garbage. I can't look anything up. Look,
Soft serve
there's fucking
contains-
loads around here.
It's the Mayfields.
Soft serve contains the expected dairy and sweeteners like milk, non-fat milk, sugar, corn syrup, and whey.
But that's
No
not,
way.
That's not Dairy Queen, is it?
I just said is soft serve dairy.
Dairy Queen.
Blizzard.
Dairy Queen soft serve does fit into FDA's reduced fat category, and its shake mix would count as low fat. The company explains, but the company has never marked it that way. That says nothing about dairy. Fuck you.
They're all about ice cream. The Dairy Queen wouldn't have it any other way.
Big Dairy is trying to get to you.
Although
They don't want you
there's
to know.
a headline
Yeah.
that says Dairy Queen soft serve ice cream isn't technically ice cream.
Oh, you know those? It's not Klondike bars. It's like the ice cream sandwiches. Apparently, like those
Yeah.
don't melt. There's an ice cream that if you just left it out, it's
Oh,
just
it's like
stays
is it
gelatinous.
like Breyers or something?
Wait, well, fuck.
Like Breyers doesn't say ice cream, right? It says like frozen dessert on the
Oh,
box.
sketchy. Yeah, there's like some shit. Anna we were talking about the Rascal thing. She was the one that put all the prosthetics. She knows all this stuff about like prosthetics and effects, makeup, and shit. There's like this gelatin stuff that like Bernie and I had to put on our bodies when we were doing $1 Million Butt episode where we came out of a womb and you're supposed to replicate like placenta and shit. That I found out is this awful tasting shit. Makes the bulk of a Wendy's Frosty is like this thickening stuff.
Placenta.
Keeps you young.
It's not bad, actually.
I believe it's pronounced placenta.
we didn't do that.
Sorry.
Just kidding.
Anyways, yeah, watch what you eat because it's probably fake and gross.
Did I tell you that I'm on the seafood diet?
You are?
Bring it.
When I
What does that mean?
When I see food, I eat it.
Oh, man.
We need a rim shot on
You're
the
going to change it up.
soundboard.
baby.
There you go. There it is.
Fraud. It's from Heat. I had a good one today at Chipotle. We were talking about somebody, and I was like, "Oh yeah, he's cool. He's a fun guy." And I was like, "Mushrooms, fun guy."
Play it.
No.
All right. Appropriate response. So Todd,
No.
Todd and I were talking a couple of weeks ago.
Brag about
Who brought it up? You brought it up that we've known each other for years. Like we met years ago
That's true.
and didn't realize we met like 7 years ago.
Yeah, that's true.
Like November 2012.
We did a
or
video
something.
with Chris Hardwick, All-Star Bowling Challenge in 2012.
Ooh.
And I didn't know that. Now we
Yeah, there's a photo. There's Todd
there's
on the
me
left.
prominently featured in the left side there.
It's Freddie Wong.
I remember that episode. You were there?
I made the video, the best video it could be. No, I was there. It was me and Freddie Wong and my former comedy partner and Chris against Joel, Gus, Bernie,
and Gavin.
And Gavin.
and Gavin. That's right. I think Bernie played, actually. It was you and Gavin.
Yeah.
Well, the funny thing is, I had no recollection that I had ever met Joel. And my first like long-term exposure to working here was on Joel's show a few years ago.
What Do You Know?
Thing we did for Verizon. And I had no idea that I had met him before or done a video with him.
I forgot until you brought it up. I was like, oh yeah, you were there.
Because people are always like, why is that guy here? Make him go away. In the comments, not really, but like sometimes everybody will be like, who's the new guy? And I've been like, I've kind of been around here for like 7 fucking years. So.
Well, you're also like internet, like
I'm
you
semi-internet
Key of Awesome.
known.
No,
Yeah.
like Key of Awesome. That's some of the earliest YouTube videos I used to watch. I feel like.
Dale!
Is that you?
Dale. And I still get served up Pitbull commercials. I don't know if that's just targeted right to me, but it's always like, get Boost Mobile, Dale, $1.99, Dale.
Does Pitbull represent Boost Mobile?
Boost Mobile. I mean, you
I've
guys
never
don't
seen
get
it.
served
I have no
up?
idea.
Is he sending me ads directly now?
I can't remember the last time I saw
God.
Pitbull in anything.
No, I saw there was a billboard
back.
in Austin. He was doing him and some other motivational speaker were doing a tour where they're like selling like
Yeah, it was like a weird pairing. It was like, who's the guy with the big teeth and
the veneers.
The last thing I saw of Pitbull was there was a TikTok that I saw where it must have been 20 or 25 girls on Halloween all dressed up as Pitbull.
Like bald caps and
Yeah,
shit?
bald
Oh.
caps and like the fucking like button-up shirts and
Maybe
sunglasses.
they're going to
and
the
everything.
pitball.
I don't know if we could find it. I might try to find it, but it was really funny.
Boost says Dale and joins forces with global superstar Pitbull.
Now that's the perfect combination of joining forces. Boost Mobile, it's a telephone and you pay $1 and they get you some telephone service, $1.
What is he saying?
Dale,
It's like, go get it or go
Yeah.
for it, kind of.
Is that
Dale is like give it, like apply it, but it means like do it.
Aplíquese.
okay? Oh, so it's Spanish?
Yes, it's Spanish. Blaine, this is the segment of the podcast we like to call Blaine Learns Spanish.
Let's make a spin-off show about it. And we'll have a Sally
Make it a
LePage teach me
segment.
things.
It's got its own unique graphics package.
Yeah, there it is.
Even they can think of it. But that's funny. I wonder if people don't realize that it's Spanish. If you don't, like, I guess I never considered that people wouldn't know that he's actually is saying something.
Like he's saying a word with a pretty identifiable Spanish accent.
I just assumed it was like a
People
pit bull, or it was like a Lil Jon thing.
Oh,
Like he just has a catchphrase.
Yeah, but Lil Jon says what, right?
And yeah,
Which is a word.
were you like 400
Okay.
times you heard it and you're like, I can't quite make that out. What English word is that?
Fucking hell.
well,
Dale.
No, I don't know what it means. But what?
Yeah.
That,
That's
who
interesting,
else's catchphrases? Like brother. That's like Hogan, right? Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, Macho Man Randy Savage.
Macho Man died a long
They
time
all
ago, right?
sound like you're Clayton.
Like
Yeah.
10 years ago now?
Yeah, unfortunately.
I can't fucking find this. There's just too many actual videos of pit bulls.
What were you looking up? I thought you were still looking up the Dairy Queen thing.
No, I was looking up the the TikTok of
yeah.
all the girls dressed as pit bull.
Right.
It-
Well, my internet doesn't work, so I can't look up anything for shit
I
here.
had to take myself off Wi-Fi.
Well, Gus, you sent around a story that was like, I don't know if you want to talk about it, but
Yeah, sure.
I'm like, I can't think about anything else now after we covered the Blizzard conversation. The prisoners who made a computer
I love that.
and hid it from everybody
What?
in a prison.
How?
I guess they worked
missed
in like
this
the recycling center in the prison, and like over time they would find spare parts that would work, and then smuggle them out of there, and then in secret built their own computer and hid it in the server room of the prison, like up in the ceiling above the cabling.
Are
Did
they
they get internet on it and stuff?
Oh yeah, they were committing more crimes using that computer.
What did they do? Were
They
they
were like doing like credit card theft and like buying and selling personal information on the dark web.
Oh my god.
wow.
Because
That's
I
crafty.
read the headline to that article and was like, oh, well, that's cool. Maybe they're probably just using like Hotmail and stuff to email like
Family.
whatever. Yeah. And they're doing crime in there with it.
Man, some people never learn.
Criminals.
Criminals, man.
You
crime.
can't trust them. Who can you
Fool
trust?
me once, shame on me. Fool me. Wait.
Well, they had Tor. They had a Tor browser.
Fool me
Yeah.
once, shame on
It's
you.
like start accessing like dark web stuff. But it's like that sounds like something you would almost see like in a Mission Impossible movie, right? Like Ethan Hunt's in prison, and you know, and
Recycling.
He builds a computer and uses it to contact the IM force, and
He built a computer and played The Sims 4 on it nonstop.
at which he torrented and downloaded illegally.
Have you? Okay.
He made them woohoo.
Are you allowed to admit whether or not you've been on the dark web? Has anybody been on the dark web?
I don't think there's a law against going
I use
on it.
light mode.
I don't know the rules of the dark
Have you
web.
been
Eric.
on the dark web?
What do you think the dark web is? Why do you think that would be illegal? What does that mean to you? I'm just genuinely curious. Like, what do you think? Like, if someone,
No,
if
you're
someone
setting up to be
who
an
hasn't
asshole.
used-
You're
I'm
doing the
ju-
whole
I
Gavin
just
thing
wanna
on me.
know.
It's cool. It's cool.
He knows.
I'll be the butt of the joke. I don't know.
I just Blaine.
It's not-
I'm a
it's-
curious person. I like to learn things, and I want to learn what Blaine's thinking.
He just wants me to look like a dickhead.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
it's
it's
okay.
cool.
I
I'm
talked
used
about my
to it.
hemorrhoid.
You got a
earlier,
yes
so
and
you're
though. I
good.
mean, he's setting you up. Like the audience is dying for this information. I can tell.
If I had to take a guess, it's like websites and things that wouldn't be accessible through like public means. Like you would have to.
Killyourboss.org is on there.
I don't know. There's like a back route into
.co.
it. If like the internet was Main Street, this would be like an alleyway that you'd have to go through like a secret corridor to get into.
You're pretty close.
I think of, I know it's not, but I think of 4chan as like semi-dark web.
That's the gray web.
Just because it's like, there's
probably
a lot of stuff that,
There's a lot of people there who probably frequent the dark web.
yes, I think that's like the connecting tissue.
It's like dark web adjacent.
Yeah,
It's like when people peek out of the dark web to the regular internet,
right.
they get to 4chan.
This is where I
Do
get
they
to
have
be
any like
public.
wholesome corners on the dark web?
Yeah, neopets.com.
Don't tell anyone about it.
Because it's like there's bad shit on the regular internet. Is there
But
like
it's like, I think if you're going through
cat
the trouble,
videos on the dark web?
if you're going through the trouble of hiding it, like it's probably something illegal to
You
begin
can't
with.
tell me that there's no cat videos on the dark web. That's impossible.
There's
right?
Well, now we
Probably-
gotta look it up. Eric, find out.
I mean, I'm sure
You
there-
can't even get the regular
Hop
internet
on the
in
dark
here.
web.
What am I gonna open my Tor browser at work? Like,
Yeah. I'm sure there are cat videos on the dark web. It's just probably videos of cats
Dying.
I don't think so either.
getting killed.
Because it's like
I think you can probably buy a dead cat on the dark web.
That's
so it's like
a-
it's like illegal pornography of various sorts, purchasing
Like
of illegal
criminal
things
stuff.
like either like corpses or body parts
Credit
or
cards,
weapons and credit card
Personal
information.
whatever.
And then it's like what else?
Yeah.
Human
trafficking.
trafficking, killing people, just all the bad shit. Killing
What-
people.
What if it's bad cats videos?
Well, no, like videos of killing.
It's like that cat that got on the field during Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
You know that cat was on the dark web.
That's a bad
That's where
cat.
the trailer for Cats the movie was on the dark web before it got unleashed into the world. Because I thought it was bad.
Now I want to find out, but my fucking regular web doesn't work. I don't have any webs here.
Put yourself on dark mode.
Check out the dark web. Got $1.99 to access the dark web. Boost Mobile. Dark web Tor.
Chrome's doing
Put it
this shit
together.
where it goes into night mode when I'm looking at it, and it looks doesn't that I'm looking up Watchmen, but
Do you
doesn't
use
that look
Chrome
like
on your,
It looks like
on
your-
your iPhone?
yeah? Doesn't it look like the incognito?
It looks like
I'm-
incognito,
Yeah,
yeah.
and every time I pull
Which
it up,
I
have a
only use for porn.
right. I have a small heart attack because I'm like, oh, my porn's up
Why do you use Chrome instead of Safari on your phone?
because I like
I mean,
Chrome better.
it'll do the same thing on Safari. Dark mode, it will look like incognito mode.
Yeah, but he said Chrome, so now I'm curious. Do you use Chrome on your phone?
No, I use Safari.
yeah,
I use
right.
Chrome.
Huh?
Because
I
Chrome's
use Chrome.
Why
a
do
whole
you
extra
Chrome?
app.
I prefer it.
Dark web.
I don't like Safari.
Yeah, me neither.
I use Firefox, bro.
On your phone?
Why not?
I use Internet Explorer.
Firefox is good. Has some good protections. I even talked to the tech guy here, and he said that.
Oh, the nameless tech guy.
His name's Ben Bryan. You can email him directly at benbryan.tor.
Ask him what his favorite web browser is. He was always happy to share.
Well, because John Rising was making fun of me. He was like, whose phone is, he was on the spot. It was just left out. He was like, whose phone is on Firefox?
Oh, you're not doing a bit. You really do use
Oh,
Firefox
wow.
on your phone.
Yeah, I have real things to say, guys. And one of them is Firefox Boost Mobile.
God damn it.
The ultimate combination. Get it for $1.99.
I-
Incognito.
As long
Dolly.
as I've known Todd, I feel like I could only trust like 15% of what you say.
I do a lot of straight-faced lying, joking around, and that's not good at a workplace.
No, especially not in our new positions now.
Maybe it's good here.
Yeah.
It's
Can I
straight-
officially
straight-faced
say
lying.
my job on this podcast?
Can you not?
Is this censored? Is this for the dark web or the regular one?
We
This is
can have
for
a
the
dark
great-
web
great
version.
web.
I'm the manager of the RT comedy group.
Yeah. And so he does a lot of straight-faced lying to our faces all the time.
I'm Blaine's manager.
So that's why you know about killyourboss.org.
Yeah. I would go there if I were him. I hate having a manager. I hate it. And I hate, I'm
You
going to
love
not
it.
say the rest of that sentence. No, it's been a lot of fun, though. There's a lot of creative people over there. It's just, it's a lot going on. Making videos.
Yeah, it's definitely been an interesting journey. I think like where we're going right now is a real cool direction, making a lot of stuff we're really excited about and proud of. And we're going to keep doing that.
Dolly.
We do need to do a dark web show.
I think so too now.
Do they have like a Netflix on dark web? Yeah,
Like snuff. It's like Snufflix.
Oh,
that's unfortunate.
Watch
Why would someone
Faces
wanna
of
watch
Death. Dark web edition.
that? Oh, I don't get why people want to watch that shit. It's upsetting.
We Todd and I share an office over there in the other building.
we office.
And we have, I think, the most boring adult conversations all the time.
You and Todd?
Right.
Yeah, we do.
Like what? Give us a taste.
We talk about refinancing
Yeah.
a lot.
Like, with the most recent federal interest rate cut, what's your break-even point if you decide to refinance your home?
But it gets interesting when you get old somehow, and you can just double down on
like-
these long-ass, boring conversations,
We're like,
and it's
what's your
fun.
current interest rate? How much equity do you have? Let's amortize this and let's figure it out. Like, after 4 years, you would start to see return on your investment in that. Like it is so, and we'll stop and be like, this is so mind-numbingly boring.
But then I feel like you guys will look at each other and then you giggle.
yeah, we do. It's a real waste of time, but it's boring shit, so it doesn't feel like waste of time.
No, if you can find somebody that you just click on a topic with, it's the fucking best.
Like blizzards?
Not like Star Wars, refinancing loans.
Blizzards. I really want a blizzard.
I know,
We're gonna
Barbara.
get blizzards after this.
I'm going to leave now to get a blizzard.
We still got
Give us a few more minutes.
time on the thing.
4 hours left.
Eric, go get us some blizzards while we podcast.
Could that happen?
Can you order them like from a food delivery service?
Sure,
don't
down at
know.
Mayfield's Dairy Queen, we got our new app, Mayfield.
Mayfield.yum.
Mayfield and Boost Mobile bringing you the Dairy Queen of a century.
Man,
Sanctuary.
did y'all see that Facebook changed its name?
Facebook!
To just Facebook all capitals, right?
All capitals.
And they changed the logo to like just a different font and like a little more spaced out, right?
Right.
They
That
should have
means-
gone with the Facebook.
Good, just roll it back.
I think that's what it was. And then
I know,
Napster
Blaine.
guy said drop the.
I know.
Oh fuck! Shit, I'm like miles behind.
You walked right into it though.
Yeah.
But it was a
Sure
straight faced joke. It wasn't apparent. It was a joke, and it wasn't funny. So that's my fault.
Yeah.
Todd does
Well,
this.
Todd, that's what he does.
Sorry.
Your daughter's gonna be so confused. She'll be like,
Oh, she's already confused.
Todd's daughter has the same
Unfortunately, yeah, she's got
This?
this. She's got the rock thing going on like that.
as
The Rock.
Todd.
That's
She's
what
like
you see.
this for me.
She has like the furrow brow.
She also thinks I'm Elmo, which is a pretty dope thing.
Is it because you go?
I go, Elmo love Mr. Noodle. You guys don't know Mr. Noodle? Mr. Noodle is like
Elmo loves
Elmo's fucking rowdy neighbor. He's like the Kramer of the Elmo world.
is he a canon Sesame Street character?
Mr. Noodle pwns Sesame Street, Blaine.
Did you just use the word pones?
I did
Like
it on-
PWNS?
I did it to be funny, all right? I wasn't really using it.
Todd hasn't been on the internet since
Oh.
2007.
Mr. Noodle.
Mr. Noodle's a live action person?
Yeah, Mr. Noodle rules.
Boom, headshot.
He does all this. He's like this really kind of famous physical actor clown person. I don't know what his name is, but he lives in a little room, and Mr. Noodle and Elmo's always like, Mr. Noodle, show us how to do a beer bong.
A beer-
Yeah?
Bill Irwin.
Oh, that looks
Bill Irwin.
That
familiar.
tickles.
I just don't. I guess I blocked him out of my memory because he looks like
Original guy who played him died.
Who
hasn't?
Michael Jeter. He died.
Sorry, rest in peace.
Mr. Noodle,
Who's the new Mr. Noodle?
get up off the floor. What are you doing, Mr. Noodle?
Don't be a wet noodle.
Anyway, that was, fuck, I didn't know he died. Jesus.
They were making fun of him and shit.
Wow.
I love Mr.
No, there's a
Noodle.
new Mr. Noodle though.
Insensitive.
The original Mr. Noodle died.
Mr. Noodle 2, Mr. Tootle.
Very good.
Hey, there you go.
That works. Little stick.
Fungi. Fungus. All right,
Is there a lot of Sesame Street going on? A lot of Elmo going
No,
on?
my daughter's 3 months old. 3 years, what? 3 months old.
Didn't HBO, they have them now, right?
I believe
Yeah.
so.
It's kind of fucked up. Weren't they public access before?
Public television or public broadcasting.
Yeah.
But they were brought to you by
Now they're behind
the
They still
letter
had-
H.
paywall.
They still had sponsors.
There was corporate sponsorships, right? Yeah.
Right.
Okay. All right.
And the number 8.
But I think they're exclusive on HBO for I don't know how long. 6 months, a year, something, and then they go free. I think. I don't know. I don't watch Sesame Street.
Oh, okay. That would be the altruistic thing to do. I don't know.
It's still a fucking business.
Yeah, that's true. Man, that's been the hardest part about all this is just like seeing the difference between, wanting to serve a community and then also understanding the business side of things. It's like knowing that you can't just do shit for free. There's a element to it.
Yeah, think about it, like Sesame Street, like that example. Like there's still actors, there's still a crew, there's still
They
tons
gotta
of
be
people
paid.
who work, to put that on. It would be nice if they would do it for free, but it's still a fucking job. It's still, I'm sure they're there long days working.
Hopefully they have insurance and everything.
Right. I mean, there's a lot of stuff, there's a lot of money that goes into making that.
Sponsors are important.
Have you ever?
This podcast brought to you by someone.
Sponsors and people who support it. Like first members.
Viewers like you.
You.
I have a question for you guys. Actually, for everybody here, I had a weird social situation and I didn't know how to handle it. I'll tell you how I handled it, but I want to present the question first. If someone asked you to parallel park their car for them, a total stranger, would you do it?
Like what's the scenario? I'm walking down the street.
You're walking your dog,
Uh-huh.
and then you see a lady, and this is like probably like 10 p.m., 11 p.m. You see a lady struggling to park her car, and then she gets out and she says, "Excuse me, do you mind parking my car for me?" What do you do?
I would do it.
I guess I would.
Yeah.
What kind of car?
It was like a sedan.
No, thanks.
I would do it.
Clown. Oh, no.
Dogs.
I would do it if
Cars
it was
not.
another woman.
Okay.
And that's only because me getting into a strange man's car
Yeah.
might be. I mean, it also depends. Like, are you gonna stay over there while I do it? Or are you getting in the car with me? I guess if I'm in the, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think I would do it, especially if it's daytime. I would do it only because I'd like parallel parking, and
Okay.
I also
You're right though. That could be like I think women do need to think about that first. And like, what is there some dude in the back seat and they're gonna
Fuck, I didn't even consider that at
Yeah.
the time.
What did you do, Blaine?
I parked it for her, but I was really sketched out because I was like, okay,
Did she hold your dog?
No, I chained Dutch up on a park bench that was nearby and knew he was okay. Like I watched and he's been getting better about separation. what I was sketched out about is like, what webcam does she have in her car, or a dent that she has in her car that she's going to blame on me? Like, what exchange of information or data is she going to get from this transaction that I will then get pinned for murder or something? And I was thinking about this all while I'm like parking her car. Parked it perfectly, and she was perfectly fine about it, and everything was fine. And I walked away like...
This was like a residential street, like near where you live, you were walking your dog? Or
Yeah,
was
it was right by my apartment. And I was like, okay.
You can usually tell
Goodbye.
if there's a little bit of a weird vibe when somebody's doing something weird.
Also, if you came by and she's already trying to park, and it clearly is like a parallel parking spot, and she's struggling, like there would have to be a lot of things that lined up for someone to construct this elaborate plan to like attack or get someone involved in something.
You never know, right? Like
you do never know.
There's always if people are going to scam you or if they're going to try to rob you, they've already thought this situation through,
True.
And you're entering it blind. Like I know someone who was walking in the neighborhood here in Austin, and it was a guy. He was walking down the street, and this car pulled up by him, and the car rolled down their window, and they're like, "Sorry, we're lost. We're from Houston. We're trying to get to the nearest Walmart. Can you tell us where Walmart is?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, you just go back down that way, take Mopac, and turn on whatever, and like there's Walmart there." Like, "Oh, thanks. Here, we want to give you something for being so nice. Here, we want to give you this necklace." And he's like, "What?" And so they reach out like from the car window and put a necklace on him. Like, "It looks really good on you. Just keep it." And then they drive off. And he's like, "What the fuck just happened?"
What?
And like after they drove off, he realized they took his necklace that he was wearing.
Oh.
He was wearing a gold necklace. And when they put the other fake one on, they took his off.
Oh, what the fuck?
And then just drove. Right. It's like you wouldn't know. Like you're so confused. You're like, what the fuck's happening? But for them, it's like, it's just a real quick thing. They know what they're going to do. They're going to go in, they're going to do it, and they're gone.
If it's an exchange of like that, like touching and stuff, then I just opt out. I'm like, no thanks.
Yeah.
Bye.
I will say, like, you should always live your life, as a friend of mine put it, in the yellow, where you're not necessarily afraid
Just
to
peeing
do anything
yourself?
or constantly like paranoid about what could happen or anything like that, but just be cautious and smart about your surroundings and like things going on. So it's like you're always living in caution, but not in fear.
It's like the Department of Homeland Security meter. It's always in yellow. Unless it's in red, but then it's back in yellow.
Yeah. Yellow.
It's never green.
Did they get rid of that? I feel like you used to always see that, and now it's like gone.
I thought that was like a thing from W's administration, wasn't it? Or was that the terror alert? It was
That
all
was
just
it.
like
Or
various
they had amber
colors of...
and all that.
Yeah.
Same thing or no?
So there's like weird colors of like beige. It was like all like of similar shades.
We're only in fuchsia. Don't get upset.
So I guess they replaced it in October of 2011.
Oh man.
I'd tell you more if
Your internet.
things loaded.
That's why we got to get in the dark web.
Well, with that scheme though, Gus, there's got to be a lot of pre-pro driving around looking for somebody who has a valuable necklace.
right.
Well, I feel like they could probably choose based on the jewelry that you have on. Like if they're like, let me give you this bracelet, and then they steal a watch. If
And
you ever
then
wearing a watch.
once they steal a necklace, are they like, shit, this one's not that valuable. We need to do it again to another person. And so like an entire neighborhood just switches necklaces.
Maybe, or I'm sure like whatever like shitty one they put on, it's like $1 or something, right? Like they have they have a tiny investment, like a tiny bit of skin in the game, but I'm sure they're guaranteed to make their money back.
That just doesn't seem like a great scam to me.
But I guess it's still like prevalent enough. Someone fucking did it.
Have you ever had the white van?
Oh,
Scam?
yeah. Used to have that all
That's
the
a
time.
pretty big one.
Was that where they like you get hit or
I never noticed the color of it.
They're
though. I
like,
don't know what's up with you.
they just call it the white van scam. It's like somebody in a van will pull up to like somewhere like maybe you're like at an ATM or somewhere that you kind of like people are kind of out of their cars and stuff. They go, yo man, sorry to bug you. I just had this delivery for this super great home speaker system to so-and-so, and it just kind of like they weren't there, and so you want to buy it for a couple $100 or something, and so they just sell you this real shitty thing that they've kind of got. I mean, it's worked out better than that. They don't just say what I said, 'cause that wouldn't be very compelling, but
sign me up.
That happened to me once. I was at an ATM down off of Riverside, and they had just built one of those theaters down south. I forget which one, like the Cinemark or something. And the guy pulled up in the white van. He's like, "Hey, same thing you said. It's like, we just installed the speakers in that new theater down south, but they ordered too many, and they told us that we could keep the speakers, but he's like, I don't have any use for these speakers. Like, do you want to buy them for $600? And I was like, no, man, I don't have any money. That's when I was working at the call center. It's like, no, man, I don't have any money.
You weren't lying.
And he's like, but you're at the ATM. You can just pull some out right now. And I was like, No. I don't have $600. I just laughed and like drove off.
I got suckered by that one time, but I negotiated the guys down to like a couple $100 and turned out being like, it was good enough to be a couple $100 of a system. I was like, that wasn't actually that bad of a scam.
They probably
you bought it?
Yeah, but I'm like really cheap, especially back then. I didn't have a penny. I was doing stand up for a living and stuff, and I was living in LA. And I basically was like, 600? I don't know, dude. I could do $4. And then they'd come down a little bit. We might have landed on 120 or something.
120.
But yeah, it was like a receiver and speakers.
They're
It's
like
way closer to
wires.
zero than 600.
they're stolen, right?
No, it's just like a shitty speaker system or something typically. Like,
I would assume people would like try to sell stuff that they stole.
well, normally when I saw it, when they did try to scam on me, it was like stuff still in a box.
Packaged up.
Yeah, packaged. So maybe they did steal it from like a warehouse or something, but it wasn't like, it was just loose stuff.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
always some shitty brand that you don't know about.
Gotcha.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie, like the live action one, the first one. There's this scene, I fucking love it, where there's like a guy, it's all in one take. Dude pulls up with his delivery truck, opens up the back, it's just filled with boxes. He grabs one box, walks off, and then when he comes back, the Foot Clan is still in everything and the truck is empty. Such a good shot. Yeah, I imagine that they got the stickers through that.
From the Foot Clan?
Yeah, the Foot Clan just went in and took it from him.
And then they sold it to that guy, and then that guy sold it to you.
Yeah, and then he got a gold chain around his neck.
Oh, full circle,
And
everyone.
then he had a anal
Hemorrhoid.
bud thing. Yeah.
Fissure.
Anal bud.
You had to look it up on the dark web to find out what it was. See, we just wrapped up everything that happened this podcast.
Except for Boost Mobile, check it out. $1.99. I keep underpricing it, right?
$1.99.
$1.99. That sounds like a Blizzard price. Blizzard.
I always love watching people's faces when they go into a certain character or voice.
Yeah.
Like you do this thing where your head tilts back a little bit.
Because
You
Pitbull
got-
always has a double chin you never think about until you see his little
Like
face.
I want to see what your face does when you do Nerf.
Oh God, I haven't done Nerf in so long. So he's got kind of a lisp and he talks like this. It's I
You
have to
kind of talk out of the side.
I
of your
got
mouth.
to talk out of the side of my mouth. It's not a comfortable position. What's your Neris?
She kind of sounds like this.
You gotta like jut out your jaw.
Yeah,
And I like leave my mouth
You don't
open.
ever fully close. Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
because she talks like this, and she's always kind of like slurring a little bit because she has a retainer, but not braces.
What's Gambo?
Wonder if she has braces.
Gambo. Let's see. Gambo. He's.
Underbite again.
I do a lot of underbite. I think for like, different characters. Gambo doesn't actually have a voice. Gambo is just Gambo, and Gambo is the ultimate being, and nobody could possibly sound like Gambo, no matter how hard they try.
I love the
Except
stutters.
apparently, Elise has a character very similar to the way Gambo sounds, and a lot of people made that comparison.
Gus Quick Simmons.
That's an excellent idea.
Wow, he didn't change his
Whoa.
face. He's so good at
It's a
it.
master. It's a mastery. That's 17 years of training.
Wow.
Okay, I think I did the side of my mouth for Jensen in Rivers Blue.
It's like this. She kind of sounds like she's spitting all the time.
Also very dirty inside of her visor.
Yeah,
Oh Jesus.
Little windshield wipers on the inside.
you have a
What's your Voldemort?
voice. You have a voice in a show called Ruby.
Oh yeah, it's just me going, everybody chill the fuck out. It's a real chill character. I'm a spaz. I need to be a spazzy character.
You do.
That's why I like Voldemort, because shitty any character is fun that you know. Like shitty Harry Potter, shitty Voldemort, shitty Santa. Like it's always a fun game to play. So I do what do? I don't even know. I go like, I tried to block off my nose. So don't spears with my nose, but I get pissed off pretty quick.
Your eyes also like go into an evil look. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't. I always like I play broke Voldemort. That's who he is in my mind. 'Cause like,
He can't
God
buy the
damn it! I
speakers."
can't get a ride uptown. I can't get a Blizzard. I can't get Boost Mobile. Nothing.
I read that the scene where he grabs Malfoy and hugs him, he's like, yes, and then he like points his wand beyond Harry. Apparently, that was like all just Ray Fiennes.
Yeah, it's like get in here, Draco.
He was being fucking weird on set that day, and everyone's like, okay.
I like the scene where he's like, okay, so I lost my wand. I'm going to need one of yours. And he like goes around, everyone's all, not mine. And he's like, yes, this one. He gets his hands all over it. You know, and everyone's like, oh,
Yuck.
God, gross.
There's just a film on it afterwards.
It's like the stuff you got covered with. That's the ingredient in a Frosty.
Yeah, the placenta from Wendy's.
So what does placenta taste like?
It tastes like chicken.
The fake placenta tasted like it was like it kind of had like a spice and a sweetness to it, but like not like a medicine type of spice or sweetness.
What is a medicine
I don't
spice?
think about medicine when I think
Like-
about spice or sweet.
Well, okay, so like imagine like the grape flavoring for NyQuil or something like that, where they try to make it tasty, but
Yeah.
it's still
Grape
it's
NyQuil?
fucking medicine though.
yeah.
So it's like that sweetness. It's like an artificial sweetener.
Do you all take a lot of medicine?
Not really.
No, I barely ever take. The only thing I do is take ever is like Advil if I have a headache.
I do Advil.
I do
crush some
Advil.
tabs.
Yeah,
Do a few bars of Advil.
I do creatine. Yeah,
and I take
not medicine, dude.
multivitamins.
that counts.
I didn't take my
It's
vitamin
a
this morning.
supplement.
Do you guys take iron?
And you start taking that. You were saying that it makes you up, right?
Iron is good if you're iron deficient. Your energy might be pretty bad, pretty low. So it's something that they look at if you feel like you're tired a lot or something like
Maybe
that.
I've been iron deficient for 41 years.
Yeah.
It's possible. It also like I would look at what has iron in it, what kind of foods you're eating, because it could be related.
But it's like iron's one of those weird things, right? Where if you cook in a cast iron pan, like your food can get iron that way. Like that's something they do in developing countries, right? Like they'll give them cast iron pans or they'll give them pieces of iron to put like in a pot in a stew when they're cooking.
What?
Because like it can infuse the iron into
Interesting.
the food. Am I talking out of my ass? Is that a real
I don't
thing?
know. I've never heard of that before.
Iron
Man.
I
Iron pan.
I am
Iron
Iron Pan.
deficiency? Did I spell that right?
But also like don't just start taking iron. Make
Yeah.
sure you actually need it, and also there could be some like negative side effects.
Food
It could
prepared in iron cooking pots as an intervention for reducing iron deficiency anemia in developing countries.
interesting.
See, look at check out the big brain on Gus.
What? Check out the big brain.
I use cast iron pans because I don't like the other shit gets off in your food, the
Oh,
nonstick
yeah,
stuff.
I don't use
gets
iron, but I
off
don't
in your
use
food.
nonstick either. I use just like steel. Or
You know,
aluminum.
that's in like 99% of like Americans and probably more countries like urine is that stuff.
Yeah.
That is like the nonstick.
Because a lot of
stuff.
people also use like metal spatulas in that nonstick stuff, and
right.
it just like you're just scraping
Yeah.
it
They
off.
should just
into
get
your
one of
food.
those stir buddies.
Well, plastic's no better though if you're using a plastic
You-
spatula.
like a plastic pan? Yeah, you're right. A plastic pan would be way worse.
No,
dude.
Spatula.
dumbass, a spatula.
Talking about pans.
I
Wood,
know
you
you
gotta
were
go
saying
wood.
something about the metal in a spatula
Yeah.
rubbing off. I think the plastic in a plastic spatula
I
would be
think a
worse.
plastic spatula would melt. Maybe you're thinking of a silicone spatula.
He's talking about
Maybe.
Yeah.
I
Or
don't
a
fucking. I
wood.
don't. I hardly cook. I
You
know.
don't cook,
fucking
Blaine?
correct me.
I see you as like a meal prep person, probably because you
Nah.
eat.
Just eat like a lot of Chipotle and protein shakes.
Chipotle surprisingly has a lot of vegan options.
Oh, God, Gus
go
is becoming
again.
that
The
guy.
tortillas.
I have one of those.
What?
Yeah.
They're delicious.
They're
That's
so
not
good.
possible.
Interesting.
Science does not have an answer for that yet. Vegan tortillas,
Are we getting
Chipotle.
blizzards or
except
what?
for corn ones.
What?
Bar wants a blizzard.
Let's get a blizzard. Yeah, it's blizzard time.
Blizzard
We ruined our
time.
blizzard. All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you guys next time. Maybe at a Mayfield Dairy Queen.
Thanks for extra life.
Bye. Hey, everyone. Thanks for watching this episode of the Rooster Teeth Podcast. We have a request of you. If you could do us a favor and click the bell to get notified whenever we have new videos. But if also you could leave us a comment down below and let us know what's your favorite blizzard. It better not be Butterfinger, like someone I know.
It's a good ingredient. It
It's
works.
not a good ingredient.
It's not bad.
Argue about it down there in the comments. We're going to read.